Anyone that's been...
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Like, they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number. Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today, they cover. So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this bet than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
You don't want them to go 13-0 and then lose the first round of the playoffs.
Red.
This is their last shot. They don't really have anywhere else to go yet.
Hot take.
By the time I hit, I guess what, Route 33 up here, that ticket's cashing.
Only on SportsGrid. In the heart of winter, when nights grow long, we come together under these lights. A team, united by purpose. Fans, bound by passion. Each holding a small flicker of hope in their hands. At SportsGrid, we believe that even the darkest nights can't dim the unity we share. One team, one stadium, one shining moment. This holiday season, we shine brighter together. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
And with that, welcome in. It's in-game live game day here on a fabulous money-making Friday. Yours truly, Scott Wetzel, along with Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, watching Betting the World of Sports. Ah, yes, we are back. So is the NHL. So is Opposite Picks. Whoa! So we'll have a whole lot of fun over the next 2 hours. So what's going on, Dave? Happy holidays, my friend. How was your Christmas day?
Happy holidays to you as well. Christmas Day was great, all except for one thing. You know it's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind me. And the Steelers played on Christmas. Yeah. And somehow my wife forgot where she came from. The girls are all born here, and everybody was rooting for the Chiefs except for me and Pap. And, we rooted for the Steelers. We thought the game was going to go over. It didn't. We thought the Steelers were going to score at least another time. They couldn't. So it was fine. I mean, it was okay. It was good. We ate during the Ravens game. So that was good because that wasn't a game, 31-2. Nothing to worry about. And then last night, I don't even know what that was. I mean, that was football, but it was raining. It was in Chicago. They had the uniforms on and they were playing, but it was no scoring. Did you know no touchdown scored in a game cashed for the second time in a couple weeks? Sure. The first time, it was about 200-1, closed about 180-1. Yesterday, most of the tickets were at about 130-1 and closed at 120-1. No touchdowns on 2 Thursday night games within like 3 weeks. Wetzel, where are you at with the NFL playing games on not Sunday and not Monday? Because I think I'm good. I'm thinking if you're gonna play the NFL, Sunday and Monday's perfect. Let's do 2 Monday night games and rest on Sunday. I don't need the Thursday. I don't need the Wednesday. I don't need all that other stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, we had to set the record for most days with an NFL game this month or this week, because we got a game Wednesday for Christmas. I kind of forgot about Thursday's game, to tell you the truth. When someone said you watching the game tonight, I was like, what are you talking about? There's no game tonight. Yeah, Thursday night game. I said no. We had 3 on Christmas, so there are 2 on Christmas. We don't have a Thursday game. because I knew we had some on Saturday as well. So we had games Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and even a Monday night game this week. So I don't think there's been another week where we've had 5 days. Certainly not 6. That's for darn sure. Yeah, it gets overdone. I mean, and really not a good one in a whole bunch. Right. And so far, we're 0 for 3. I mean, there's not one where I'd want to say I want to sit down and really watch it because, you're doing so many things, right? Who really has time to watch games during the holidays like you normally do on a Sunday afternoon? But, looking at the scores and peeking at things, it's just like, boy, I didn't miss too much. I'll tell you that. Yeah, that was ugly last night. Real 6-3. Yeah. Not only that, Dave, we've had at least one team. I think it's 2 teams. I know the Giants beat the Commanders, right, without scoring a touchdown, even though Washington did their first meeting. Then I think there was one more game like that. And then there were you talked about 2 games with no touchdowns being scored. So I think we've had 4, at least 3 where the winning team this year has not scored a touchdown and yet won the game. I mean, that's wow.
It's been one of those seasons in the NFL. I mean, last week the favorites went 11-4 again. Christmas Day, favorite. Dog finally covered yesterday. We got games tomorrow. We'll look ahead to, today. We got games Sunday. We'll look at those as well. And then Monday night, Detroit's playing San Francisco, another road favorite. I mean, it's been the year of the chalk. It's just been one of those ones, my guys in the book crying, bookmakers are crying all over the place. Somehow they're still open. They're going to be okay. It's just not been great for the NFL, but just in time, the NHL comes back after taking a few days off. You got a full slate tonight of hockey. You got a full slate of NBA. The NBA on Christmas was great. Did you watch any NBA on Christmas?
I did not.
So it was all dogs.
No.
Oh, baby. Oh, the dogs all
Dogs in the over.
Woo!
That's one of the systems. Yeah. That's one of my systems that I like to play, which I didn't just because, I didn't play on the road teams in holiday games. Why? Because the home team is where? They're at home. Where do they want to be? You think they want to be at the stadium? No, they want to be at home, just like you are. They want to be sitting around, drinking, eating, having friends, family over, right? The road team knows, listen, we're screwed. We're playing on Christmas Day. We're playing on Thanksgiving. We're playing whatever. You know what it is, what it is. It's a business trip. But the home team, that's the one that says, all right, we'd rather be home. So all 5 road teams covered, and then 4 of them went over. And that's another thing, as I always say, no one's playing defense on Christmas. Believe me, nobody is playing defense on Saturday and Sunday or Fridays and Saturdays. No one's playing defense on Christmas.
Hold on. Sometimes with all the chaos going on at your house, wouldn't you, instead of having a home game, wouldn't you like to be on the road? I mean, there's a lot going on. Like I was gonna try to sneak out and go see a guy about a thing at the book. On Christmas Day, I couldn't get out because there was so much going on, and the dog and everybody else was doing something. Usually, we used to go see a movie on Christmas Day. That was a big thing for us. Like it was do your thing, everybody eat, and then we saw a Christmas movie at the movie theater. We didn't do that this year. We didn't do it here. Everybody stayed home, was tired. We played cards, at night. You got any Wetzel family traditions that you do on Christmas, either in the morning or in the evening? Something, because I know you're busy cooking and doing all that stuff on Christmas.
Yeah, not really. Not traditions. You get up, the usual routine. You unwrap all the presents. You fight who gets in the shower first, who's getting in last with no hot water. One of those things. Then we got to start the cooking. Family comes over and nothing, each year it's kind of, it's nice having an NFL game because you're all sitting in the living room and you kind of, conversationed out and you throw the football game on. So that's really it. As they get older, you have less, you sit around the dining room table. When they're younger, the kids are younger, a little more festive, I will say, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. The other thing with the boys in Vegas here also is with college football, Dave. With these goofy bowl games. I mean, listen, who knows who's playing in these crazy things, right? I mean, every single time I do a little research on a game, I find out the starting quarterback is gone, the star wide receiver, running back. I mean, who knows? But I will tell you, favorites for through the Oklahoma game this afternoon, favorites 14-4, straight up 12-6 against the spread.
Yep.
So
It's one of those situations where I used to have a guy come in the book as soon as the bowl game lines would come out every year, and he would bet the dog on the money line for every game. And just, because there would be inevitably an upset or two with a big payout. And he insisted that he would come out ahead. And most times he did. But man, I don't know. There's so much line movement, and there's, teams are favored and they're staying favored and they're winning the games. It's been nothing but favorites, what'd you say, 66%, 70% so far against the spread. So tread cautiously, keep laying the chalk. It's just parlaying that with the football and the NFL. Got games on Saturday. It looks like chalk, chalk, chalk. I don't know. Maybe there's a system we'll uncover. You said opposite picks is coming up. We got Colby on, we got Newbie on, and we got Cam on. Is opposite picks, is it college football bowl games, or did you dive into the NFL with the opposite picks?
No, well, we'll stick with the college football.
Wow.
A little tougher with these bowl games because, like I said, that's why I do all the research. And you just find out it's like, this team doesn't have their quarterback. This team has the third string quarterback. This guy doesn't have the head coach. Doesn't have the wide receiver. It's like flipping a coin. It really is with some of this stuff.
Hard.
The one moment you bet the team that doesn't have its quarterback and they stink, the next day you bet the same situation and that quarterback comes off the bench and throws for 4 touchdown passes. Yeah, don't think so. All right, we'll look at the line when we come back.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
They may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number.
Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today. They cover.
So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live game day here on the grid. Just getting underway. Hour number 1 of our 2-hour extravaganza. We do have college football tonight. Really, tomorrow is kind of like the if you draw the line in the sand on games that are at least halfway decent and games that are just purposeless. Tonight might be the last day of the just meaningless games. And then tomorrow kind of picks up a little bit. So we got that tonight. We'll take a peek at. We'll look at some of the NFL stuff for this weekend as well with the Saturday games tomorrow. We have hockey, full slate of hockey. Here's my system for the NHL, Dave. I'm betting all the overs. Look what happened yesterday in the NBA. All right, NBA had a week and a half off, basically. The amount of days the NBA has is just nauseating. It really is just nauseating. Oh no, they didn't play. What they didn't play Monday. What? Yeah, like one game Monday. I think
Monday,
it was
Tuesday.
Well, full slate of games.
Tuesday they didn't play. Yeah, I mean,
all right,
right? Come
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Wednesday. No, they played Wednesday. What are you talking about?
A couple of teams played Wednesday. Couple. It
was a nice lineup. 10 teams, 5 games all day. You know, it was all overs. They were right.
For the most part.
Going over, yeah.
Well, that's my point. For the most part, guys had off Tuesday, Wednesday, return action Thursday, right? So what happens Thursday in the NBA? Thunder, Indiana, over. Heat, Magic did go under. Wizards, Hornets did go under. Hawks, Bulls, over. Grizzlies, Toronto, over. Nets, Bucks by half a point, over. Rockets, Pelicans, over. Portland, Jazz, over. Pistons, Kings, I'm not sure if that went over or not, 227. I think it did. And it got their head coach fired. So what's the common trend, right? All overs for the most part.
Yeah.
Even Christmas Day went 4-1 over. So I'm thinking the same thing happens in hockey tonight. Now the hockey's had a week and a half off for sure. But okay.
He only took 3 days off.
3 days off in the middle of the season, for goodness sake. And then they got a week off for All-Star break. They got a week off for Hanukkah. They got a week off for Kwanzaa. How many weeks do you want off? This is why we're playing hockey in June, for goodness sakes, and the NBA. So
Thursday, you need time with your family. You need time off. You need time to rest up. And you're right. There could be a lot of overs today. There's the way that it looks. I mean, early. Buffalo, Chicago looks like it's headed over. Carolina, New Jersey, that one's going over. Detroit, maybe. We're on our way. Detroit, coach.
Need some goals out of Detroit.
Yeah.
Nope. Devils just scored again. So that game officially went over. So we are officially I'm gonna bet. I bet all the overs in the hockey. What do we got? 11 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8 games. All right. So I played all the overs so far. 1 game in. Devils, Carolina. That was 5.5. 4-2. Devils just scored. So that's 1-0. At worst, we'll go 1-7. But I got a feeling we're going to go 6-2. That's my guess. And we get something out of the Red Wings. We need them to score here a little bit. Bruins are down 3-1. So they're the better teams. You think that's going to get to the 7? Little something out of the Blackhawks would be nice to get Buffalo. 4 goals.
Yeah, that's not looking good. I thought they would score a few goals. They're not doing anything right now. Down 4-0, 8 minutes left in the second. That's not looking good at all. Blues already have 2 goals in the first 5 minutes.
Love that one.
Yeah, that one's going
for some reason.
Right.
Cool.
Wild and Stars was 5.5. Any system plays for the later NHL games? Avalanche and Utah Hockey Club. The Knights are a gigantic number against San Jose later. I guarantee that Cam's going to come on and say he's going to make a case for S.J. Sharkey, but he's not going to take the Sharks. You can't take the Sharks against the Knights. Like, you can take the Sharks on certain nights, but not against the Golden Knights. That's not a good play. But like I was out today and my buddy Corbin, he's a big Avalanche guy. He said, the Avalanche are going to Utah today. They're going to win the game. See how good Utah's been playing recently? Big plus at home. Oh, my goodness. Got so excited about it, he got all choked up. Scotty, take a deep breath. Scotty will be back in a second. He went to go and say, I love that play, Dave. And
I did.
And say the Utah Hockey Club. And look, he's back.
I was going to jump in there. I just got, all the food I ate over the last 2 days, it just kind of came back up into the system. So, yes, Avalanche 5-1 against the Jazz. And I did see that. They won like 5 straight road games, too, for Utah. It's not even necessarily at home. And remember, supposed to be right against some decent teams as well.
Plus money, big total, another 6.5. This one's going over, at least pregame. We'll talk about that. We'll see. That's about an hour away from puck drop. What else were you looking
Columbus
at?
scored again. Nashville scored 2-1. Telling you,
keep up. I mean,
bet the overs.
Do you think Vinny's paying attention? Can he hit the goal horn just for old time's sake? Does he have it close by?
Yeah.
He doesn't have it tonight.
No.
Yeah, he left it. He
All
left
right.
it. He left it in his stocking. It's unbelievable. Okay, that's fine. Sorry.
Yeah. We got to take out we've been off for about a week here, so we got to kind of get back to the grind here.
Right. Get back up. Yep, that's right. Yeah. Get the skates laced back up. One of the best gifts I ever got, I believe, when I was 10, was rollerblades. The original rollerblades. I put those on, and we could actually train outside, skate, play at the playground and stuff at the school. Wetzel, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm getting back on the skates. I'm going to the hockey store this weekend. Yep. Ooh. Loading up. We're getting back on the ice. Morency's going to be the goaltender. I'm going to put you on the wing. Wing. All right.
Wing.
Just go to the net. We'll get you the puck. You can score a goal because, you've talked about being able to do all this stuff. You'll score a goal in our adult league game. I think you'll be able to score a goal. Can you skate at all?
Oh, yeah. I just got to get my agent negotiate the salary. What's the salary cap? Because if you think I'm doing this for free, those days are over. The freebies for me, no.
Okay.
We'll talk salary. Sure. Then I'll show you how I'm making it.
You better win some friends.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
They may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number. Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today, they cover. So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave for another hour and 40 minutes or so as we take a look at all the happenings here on a fabulous Friday, including our SGP Same Game Parlay. All right, we talked about this one. Vegas, I'm going to go to the ice here. Dave, head out to San Jose and take on the Sharks here with your Vegas Golden Knights. They're five. They've won 5 in a row against San Jose, 10-1 their last 11. So we'll pitch a fork and we'll start with Vegas. Take them straight, minus the 255. I wouldn't play it regularly, but in a parlay, why not? So give me Vegas to start. We're going to go with over 3.5 goals, Vegas. It was going to go over 6.5, but you know what? I don't want to count on, what you need realistically 2, maybe 3 goals out of San Jose. You might not get that. Their team total is 2.5. So, but I'm pretty confident we'll get at least 4 out of Vegas. So let's go over 3.5 Vegas. We're going to use Mark Stone with 1 point, minus 350, which is just criminal. Jack Eichel, 1 point or more as well, which is also minus 350, which is just, how about this one? Jack Eichel, 3 shots on goal, minus 280. That is just nuts, but we'll put it in there. And then Tyler Toffoli, 2 shots on goal for San Jose, plus minus 280 as well. Add it all up, it's not a big payout, 3-1. But we've turned a minus 255 favorite into a 3-1 underdog. Need a little luck with the points, but I think both those guys will get their points. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that looks good. I mean, you got the big chalk, so those should get there. The only way we don't get there, I think, is if the Sharks win. Vegas is scoring 4 goals. No, I mean, unless they're just like we get a road game where they win this game 3-1. But Eichel, 3 shots on goal, 1 point. Let's go. Toffoli, 2 shots. Boy, would that be something if that's the one that gets you? Where he only gets 1 shot on goal? I don't know. That looks pretty good, Wetzel. 6 legs is only 3-1. This is one of your chalkiest parlays, same game parlays yet. 6 pieces.
It's tough. Hockey's tough to get a decent parlay in. To get like a 5 or 6-1. It's especially if you put the players that you have the team winning. It's just so correlated. They just crush you. I mean, they crush you as it is, minus 3.5 points. I mean, or 3.5 to get a 1 point. I mean, that Eichel, 3 shots on goal. I know your average is over that, but he doesn't average 10. I would expect to lay minus 280 on something that the guy averages maybe 7 times, and you're only, asking for 3. I'm asking for 3 for a guy that averages 3.5 or so, and I'm laying minus 280.
See, the variance, that's what makes the hockey stuff harder, right? Like, the only defense for the book or the odds maker is to change the juice. It's not like you can move it from, rushing yards 82.5 to 87.5 to 90.5. People keep betting over. So if you keep betting over the points, I mean, he's going to have 0, 1, or 2 most likely. I mean, a 3-point night in the NHL is a big deal. 3 shots on goal or more. If he averages 3, he's going to finish with 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, not 10, like you said. So the variance is different. So the prop market obviously in the basketball, the volatility is ridiculous, and making the number, you have flexibility. Football, kind of the same thing. Hockey, baseball, same as hockey. That's why those 2 sports kind of correlate together, and the football and the basketball correlate together with the point spreads. What do you think about the Vegas Bowl? Do you have any opinion? Because Colby's coming up next, and we're going to ask Colby about the Vegas Bowl. I'm going to try to head down there. I'll pick you and Vinny up if you guys want to go to the game. We'll go watch a little football, USC and Texas A&M, and then we'll go get a steak dinner after if you guys want. It's on me for the holidays.
My jet is available. I'll fly out there. Yeah, I do like USC in the game. You look at Texas A&M's schedule. I know this is kind of a dangerous thing, but if you really look at it, I mean, they didn't beat anybody this year. The 3 best teams they faced, they lost. The Texas, Notre Dame, and South Carolina. They beat a bunch of dogs. So they had a nice little run there, beating a bunch of dogs. But when push came to shove, they lose to Texas. So I don't think they're that good. Now, listen, neither is USC, but Lane Kiffin is much better as an underdog than he is as a favorite. He's 6-6. I think, being able to finish 7-6, a little bit of a goal for USC. So we'll talk more about it next with Colby Dan when we come back.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Like, they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number.
Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today. They cover.
So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Talking some college football. Scott and Dave for another hour and a half or so as we welcome in our first guest of the evening, Mr. Colby Dan. Check out his podcast, the College Experience Podcast. It's college football and college basketball. And hopefully, Colby, you didn't have, first of all, happy holidays. But second off, hopefully you didn't have the under in this Arkansas-Texas Tech game because Tech just scored another touchdown. We're at 40 points now, 21-19 with 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter with an over-under that was, I think, 52.5, 52, 53, depending on where you did your shopping.
Yeah, I didn't take the total on that one, and I was on Vanderbilt, but was on Oklahoma. Took a loss there, and I'll tell you one thing though: these bowl games, we don't know who's playing in a lot of them, but man, these have been some roller coasters. I was on both those 5 overtimes and 6 overtime games, and just the sweat alone, even though I lost that San Jose State Hawaii game, I was like, you know what? Take my money. That was like going to the amusement park. Fantastic.
No question it was. And the playoffs are going to have something to live up to. Like the bowl games, they have been worth the sweat, and there's games all over the place. And there's a game here in Vegas tonight, Cole, before we get to tomorrow's games. Any opinion, side or total, Texas A&M, USC, Wetzel's on USC. I'm leaning USC. I think the game goes over, and I think it goes over comfortably. How about you? What do you got?
Yeah, I took A&M, and the only logic really that I had here was Elko's in year 1. They're understanding him more and more each week of what he wants, and also with his offense, his defense. And I also think they got hit less in the portal. USC got really – I was shockingly like a lot of guys. I wonder about their NIL collective because everybody left the team. I mean, I feel like you had Miller Moss, their starting quarterback for most of the season, go to Louisville. You've had, they're all wideouts. Zachariah Branch, who was a 5-star freshman that they loved, gone. Bear Alexander on the defense. I know he didn't play all year because he quit the team midseason or something, but still, there's like a list of 20 guys here. Now I know A&M's got some opt-outs too, but I just tend to trust the direction of a first-year coach, regardless of the spot here. Like first-year coach, where you're getting more and more buy-in to what you want offensively, defensively, and your culture, against something that seems a bit stagnant and old, and most of your guys are in the portal. So I went A&M there.
How about tonight's Syracuse game? 17.5 point favorite. Laying some crazy odds, and they're actually down. Actually, check that. They're leading 8-7.
Yeah, I laid it mainly because Washington State has been like a fire sale. Like, I mean, I'm sitting there looking at the roster, looking at the coaches. Their offense coordinator's gone. You're sitting there like it's like that scene in Major League where you're like, who the heck is this, right? I mean, you're down to third string running backs, third string wideouts, where Syracuse has guys opting into play. So I think over the long haul of that game, I liked laying the points, and I don't normally like laying that many points with Syracuse, but I thought it was due for the spot.
So early in the morning out west tomorrow, Cole. A football game in a baseball stadium, which I'm a big fan of personally. So I'll ask you, you got North Carolina and who are they playing? Let me see. North Carolina's playing UConn.
Connecticut.
Small number, ugly game, cool stadium. Going to Boston and playing a bowl game in late December. I don't know if that's a reward or punishment, but side or total in that? And where do you stand on football games in baseball stadiums?
To me, I have a big time opinion on this because the one that happened at the Diamondback Stadium, I'm okay ditching that one. To me, that's not at a historic stadium, but playing at Wrigley, playing at Fenway, playing at Yankee Stadium, or even Dodger Stadium, which they rarely do. I'm all on board. You can't tell the history of the sport. You can't tell the history of the sport without huge games at all of those stadiums. So I think if anything, they should cater to that a little bit more. I think the NFL should do one of those, at least one. Look, we're already playing games in like Berlin and Sao Paulo. We can't do a baseball game just to honor the history.
Yeah.
So I sign me up for that. As far as the game, I'm getting reports that Belichick is not going to be there, which is surprising to me because I thought the crowd would get behind it. But I still think it's an audition for him. And meanwhile, UConn's lost some key guys in the portal. I'm going to buy into the audition side of it. Is like we get a one-game showcase for one of the greatest coaches in the history of the sport. So I'm going to take North Carolina, despite all the turnover. I know lots of guys aren't playing. I am a little concerned that UConn is more adequate for the weather, but I just think you get the one-game audition for a guy that's a legendary coach. So why not? Give me the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter too. That supposedly he's not going to the game. I got to tell you, that's not a good sign if you're a Heels fan. What kind of interest does he really have in his job if he's not willing to go back to Boston? We're not asking him to go to Wyoming, right, or somewhere like Fargo, South Dakota.
He's cold. Like he's not going up there, right? It's cold.
Do you think it's a distraction though? Is he thinking like it's a distraction to the team because that'd be such a crowd favorite? Maybe.
I don't know. I think that he may be inspired. Why is he not coaching? Forget about, just going to the game. Well, why isn't he coaching? He's going to be the coach next year. Wouldn't you want to be on the field with your guys and get a sense of who you want, who you don't want?
No.
That's a ratings thing.
He's blowing everybody out. They're going to change over most of the roster. I mean, it's going to be a big changeover. I don't know. I understand it from his point, but that's fine. Cole.
We got another game at Stanky Stadium tomorrow. With BC Nebraska.
Which game is that? Oh,
BC Nebraska
at Yankee Stadium.
Torn. Yeah, I'm a Nebraska fan, but my daughter goes to BC. I'm kind of torn here, Colby. Who should I be betting on?
Yeah, I took BC. Just the fact that Big Red Nation normally shows up, and I know they haven't been in a bowl game in a while. But man, the end of the season, I just think morale seems to be a bit down. They win one of their final 6, and then a mass exodus in the portal, including their star defensive coordinator who went to Florida State. And then you look at BC and what Bill O'Brien did. This is another angle to me. I know Matt Rule's in year 2, but Bill O'Brien's in year 1. I think it's kind of been more of a motivating, factor here. Is like this team's believing in themselves. Their starting quarterback, opted out midseason. They still won 7 games. And, I just tend to buy into the pulse of that team moving forward. Now, it's tricky with some of the opt-out situations. I know, like, BC's best receiver hit the portal. But I still think BC will probably, I'm guessing, have have a little bit of the crowd. I'm very curious if Big Red Nation is going to go to New York City for a bowl game with a 6-6 team when they were 1-5 in their last 6 games. But they've done it before, though, where they just take over a stadium. But I just think BC's a better football team right now.
Nobody's going to that game. There's going to be a lot of empty seats in a lot of these places. But I don't know, Cole, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. This looks so easy to me to bet the over. Cam Ward's playing. How does Miami not play well and score at least 30, 35 points? The game should go over easy the way I see it. What is your favorite Pop-Tart flavor? And what side do you like? You got 20 seconds.
Oh, give me strawberry all day. I'll go chalk on that. But give me Iowa State. Look, Cristobal still can't coach. When do they pull Cam Ward? At what point? Iowa State's got the motivation. They've never had this many wins in a season. So give me the Cyclones. And I do love the over, too.
All right. We got you for a second segment, or no? It's just a one and done deal.
Sure. Let's go.
Not sure. He's staying. All right, cool. All right, cool. Hold on the line. We got a few more games we're going to run down. Colby Dant, the College Experience Podcast.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid, talking some college football with Colby Dant, the College Experience Podcast at your favorite podcast homes. All right, so Colby, we last left you with some of the games tomorrow. Iowa State, Miami, we talked about that one. I'll just throw it out there. Well, you know, pretty good one, BYU, Colorado. Now, at this point, it looks like Shedeur Sanders and Hunter are going to play. For how long, who knows? You know, maybe a half, maybe a quarter, maybe the whole game. You know, if this is Papa's last game at Colorado, which I really don't think, But you tell me, do you think this is it for the Sanders in Colorado with the whole kit and caboodle leaving?
Oh no, I think Dion, he's brought in a really good class for next year, in the like recruiting wise. I know he doesn't go super active in that, but he's bringing in like a 5-star quarterback and a 5-star offensive lineman. So I think, and then they just landed Caden Salter from Liberty, a few other guys that I think it's very exciting if you're a Buffalo fan. But they took out that insurance policy. I think they're going to play the whole game, and BYU is another one that has very, very rarely will have an opt out. So we get an actual between this and like Miami and Iowa State. I feel like maybe the pendulum's swinging back. I never understood the logic of, hey, you know what? I'll play in the game on November 30th, but the game on December 20th, no.
Right,
I'm looking out for my career. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You get, you're on this planet for so long, you get a chance to play football. Why not just play football? That's what you're supposed to do. But for that game specifically, I kind of like BYU in the points there. I think Colorado will probably win the game. But I just think BYU is going to be chippy enough on the line of scrimmage to be able to establish the run. So I took BYU in the points there. I do think Colorado will probably win the game, but give me the Cougs and the points.
Another one that I just look at and then go over, and I see points and just go from there. We got to talk about the playoff, and we haven't talked to you since the first round. We had all favorites. We had all the home teams. Everybody covered. Tuesday, down in Arizona. It's not the Snoop Dogg Bowl. That's a different bowl game. Penn State's playing in the Fiesta Bowl against Boise. Cole, if you like Boise, you can say it. I'd be surprised if you said it, but that's okay. Side or total in the Fiesta Bowl, Colby, Mr. College Experience guy. What do you got?
I like Boise. a lot in this one. Look, Penn State just looked great, but look, take away those interceptions. I felt like SMU, especially in the first half, was moving the ball. They just couldn't. They couldn't. Take advantage of it. They kept throwing picks. Now we're going to this dome in Arizona, by the way, and Boise has proven it. I'm sorry, like over the past 20 years, whether it was at Georgia, whether it was at Florida State, Oregon this year where they lose by 3 in a game they probably should have won. I think they could stay within that number, and I think they could really put a lot of pressure. You look at Penn State, look, a great year, but they've struggled against some teams, Bowling Green, Minnesota, USC. I think Boise can stay within that and potentially win it outright. I like the over, too.
Yeah, I think with all these, even Texas 13.5-point favorite
Big
over
number.
Arizona State. Is that not crazy?
That's the one I feel least confident with, and that's mainly because we've seen this so many times historically in college football. I feel like over the past 25 years, where you get that red hot team that no one wants to play, but then you give them a couple weeks off, and they come out super flat. I feel like Texas, they're probably complaining that they had to play the game last week, but I think that actually helps them a little bit. I think Arizona State being that hot, staying in Tempe, where there's always a good time there. I took the points reluctantly. I feel like that's the hardest game for me because I think Arizona State could come out flat. I hate when a team gets a bye. We see it in the NFL so often where a team looks great all regular season. You get that bye week, and then the team that plays in that wild card game gets that advantage. So reluctantly, I actually think the best play you can do there is the over.
Yeah, Texas is playing Arizona State in Georgia. The tickets are apparently pretty readily available and cheap, inexpensive. The most expensive ticket, though, is out in your neighborhood. And if things break right, I might come out and actually try to go to this game, the Oregon-Ohio State game in the Rose Bowl. Everybody's dubbed this. The winner of this game's winning the national championship. Forget about all that because there's other teams that may have something to say about it. Cole, who wins this game, and how in the hell does this one not go over? I can't believe this total isn't 59.5 myself. That was my number on the send-out. Ohio State or Oregon?
I love the Buckeyes here. I mean, I've already, yeah. I think you're getting them. The reason, shouldn't most people be like, why are they favored here? I think the fact that they're getting them on grass, Oregon's like, to me, the anytime you're on artificial turf or anything, like they're a fast team. That's how they recruit. And then to me, they're playing to me with house money. Like Ohio State off to me, they went through that adversity. There's less pressure for them. Oregon, unfortunately, because this 12-team playoff actually got the worst of everything. Psychologically, I think you already hoisted a trophy. So like we won this, but now we get to play Ohio State, who, and Ohio State really, if not for a bonehead play or two, should have beat them in Autzen. Now you remove that crowd, and as someone that's lived in LA for 20 years and used to bartend right next to the Rose Bowl, those Ohio State fans travel. That's going to be. I actually wouldn't be surprised if that's 60-40 in Ohio State's favor. I'm all over the Buckeyes here. I think they have less pressure. Chip Kelly, very familiar with the Rose Bowl as well. I think all that benefits them.
Interesting. I think all four of these lines are all kind of weird to me, or at least interesting, including Georgia with the backup quarterback laying 1.5 against Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think this is the hardest one because the injuries. Notre Dame, two of their best defensive players. They've been out without their corner for a while, but and then obviously can Kirby Smart. I normally love Kirby Smart with this much time to prep. But I actually think, give me the under, and I think Notre Dame, better quarterback, better running back. They get the dub.
Man, oh man.
That's music to
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Cole, which game are you looking forward to the most from an entertainment standpoint?
I think it's the Georgia Notre Dame game because of all the all the different situations.
Yeah, I think the right one for the nighttime for sure. Colby, Dan, great job, Colby. As always, do it again soon.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Like they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number. Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today, they cover. So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks again to Colby Dent, the College Experience Podcast. Check it out at your favorite podcast stores. Time now, as always, for our Black Cloud Play of the Day. I got a pretty good NBA game out in Phoenix as the Suns host the Dallas Mavericks without Luka Doncic, and that's the key. So normally I would bet on a team that doesn't have its superstar player, even though the whole world goes the other way, but I'm going to pass on that, although I do like Dallas for that reason only. Instead, we're going to go with, how about over, a little bit of a public play here, Dave, but we're going to go over 26.5 points, Kyrie Irving. He averages 24, so the boys in Vegas know this as well. But averages 24, except when Luka doesn't play. When Luka doesn't play, he averages nearly 28. So even though they bumped his number from 24 to 26.5, in my book, 26.5 is still not as much as 28, which is what he gets. So give me over 26.5 points, Kyrie Irving. He's hit this number for the last 6 games in which Luka hasn't played. So I think he steps – and if you look at Luka's numbers, not only points, but assists, rebounds across the board, he's a bit of a mope, no two ways about it. World is flat and all that other stuff. But he does step up when Luka's not around. So let's use his mopiness to our advantage and, step up again tonight, Kyrie, over 26.5 points.
Okay. This one's going to be close. A lot of people will bet this automatic because Luka's not playing and the number has been adjusted. And yes, you are still pretty decent at the math where 26.5 is less than 28, but the books know that. So. What's the juice? Minus what?
No juice. Minus 110.
Oh, okay.
Minus 110. Right. Yeah.
So we'll see. Do you like Dallas in the game without Luka?
I like Dallas. Yeah.
Okay.
First game or two without him. Yeah. Then after that, it may kind of like die down a little bit. Okay. But I like them. Yeah. I like betting on those teams that lose their star players.
Okay. So if you like Dallas in the game, then that makes sense. If you like Phoenix in the game, I think this could go under. But we're not even going to talk about that. The black cloud. I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about all these overs in the hockey. You see what's going on? Carolina and the Devils 4-2 after 2. Bruins and the Blue Jackets 5-1 after 2. Blackhawks and Sabres, the third period just started. 17 minutes left, 4-2. Maple Leafs now up 5-0 after 2. The Predators and the Blues are 4-2 after
already
1.
Over.
After 1.
After
it's already
1.
over.
10.5. Look at that total. 10.5. Right?
Welcome.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a fun week. The Wild and the Stars 1-0 after 1. That's the game that was probably going to go under of the whole card today. So that one's still under. In-game total for that is right now 4.5. Big juice to the under, plus 165 here. So you can take a shot if you think that one's going to go under 5. I think under 4.5.
Are you willing to blanket the overs in the last 2 games?
I like
Colorado,
both of them.
Utah, Vegas, San Jose.
Yeah,
both are 6.5.
Both are 6.5. Which again, now are we juicing them? If we're sitting in a book, me and you, and we're working, we're not changing them. You see, but one is not dependent on the other. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You don't just move it because the other games are going over, or do you? You want to do it?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I said it beforehand, right? So right now we got 8 games. With everything is said and done, we only have one that's officially over. That's the Devils Carolina, because that was 5.5. Right. So we need some help, but 2 goals. We're looking pretty good. Toronto, Detroit. We need 1 goal in 16.5 minutes with a 2-goal deficit. Chicago, Buffalo. So at worst, I think we're going to get an empty netter there. So that's looking solid. We need 1 out of Boston, Columbus with the entire third period. I mean, actually 2 went over because St. Louis, Nashville was 5.5. So we've got 2 over so far. I tell you, out of the 8 games, I bet we go at worst 6-2.
Love it.
At worst.
Well, how many games you got in opposite picks coming up? How many games you got in that? How are we going to do in that?
We got 7. We used some games for tomorrow.
Okay.
We used some games for during the week. So little tough with these bowl games. You might want to go opposite of opposite picks because it's so screwbally, with all these players.
It's very confusing. I need all that.
Yeah. By the way, Washington State leads Syracuse again, 21-14. We'll talk with Dan Alexander Newby next. When do we start thinking Washington State can win outright?
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Well, they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number. Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today. They cover. So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome in. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott and Dave for the next hour, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time. We got college football. How about an upset maybe in the making? A little NBA, a little NHL. We'll talk to Dan Alexander here in a little bit. We gonna get Dan now? No, we don't. Okay.
No.
So I asked him, before the last break there, Dave, Washington State, a 17.5-point underdog, right? They got like their 5th string quarterback. The head coach is gone. The whole world's gone, right? So they're actually leading. They blocked the punt a moment ago for a touchdown. Up now 21-14. The numbers are locked, but I did see Syracuse as a favorite. Here we go. At 9.5. 83.5 is your total. Don't be me. I played the under thinking, all right, it was a big number, 59. How are they going to get to 60 points with a 5th string quarterback or whatever the kid was, right? They're going to hit that by halftime. That'll be the last under I ever play in these bowls, by the way. The last one. Of course, I had the over in the Oklahoma this afternoon, and the guy decides to go for 2. Unbelievable. Just go to overtime. Come on. You go for 2.
You have no idea. I think one of the hardest things to handicap is you have no idea what's going on a lot of times in the locker room, in the practices leading up to the games, and then during the games, right? A lot of times it's just like, look, let's get the game over, make sure that nobody gets hurt. A lot of times you got guys that are playing like this thing is for a playoff. You got other kids playing, their last games. You got other kids not playing because they don't want to get hurt. It's nuts. What college sports has become is absolutely, it's incredible. I mean, you got college basketball coaches like Larinaga just quitting, right? Like yesterday, just had a press conference, said, I'm done. I'm tired. I don't know what to do anymore. The collective's gone. I mean, we can't get the money. It is literally a professional league. It's not professional. It's the minor league. I don't know, but the money's real. It's big. There's a lot of betting involved. And you got to, make sure that at least you feel confident about your bet before. Right. If you don't, that's why you got to be, with us on In-Game Live and maybe try to get a different bet to get out of it. I don't know. It's really, really hard. You know what else is fun during the breaks? Like during like Christmas break and the holiday break and all this other stuff, are these debates about like positions in baseball and all this other stuff. We haven't talked since the passing of Ricky Henderson. You and I have not spoken. That was a bummer, Scott. That was one of my guys. Like I really, really enjoyed watching Ricky play. I was a young kid, and my first team, coach pitch, not coach pitch. I mean T-ball was the A's, and I had the gold uniform and white pants. I got white spikes. I was 9 years old. I thought I was an Oakland A. So seeing Ricky was a bummer. One of the best outfielders of a whole generation. No, I think we can say that. I mean, he did everything good.
Yeah, didn't have a great arm, but outside of that, I think he was the most complete ball player I ever saw. Guy could hit for power. Obviously, he could steal bases. Great batting average. Good defensively. Just didn't really have a strong arm. That's all. But playing as long as he did and bouncing around as long as he did, he still maintained a pretty good batting average. Like I said, he's not a 5-tool player because he didn't have the arm. But overall, he doesn't get mentioned as much as he probably should, Dave. But I remember him playing. I covered the Stanks when he was with the Yankees. So funny guy, nice guy. He'd stand there butt naked, picking at himself in front of them, and we're all kind of with female reporters as well. He'd have no qualms, just So, but
Ricky
he was
being
funny,
Ricky, right? It was
just being Ricky.
Ricky just being Ricky.
Outside of, I'll say him and Pete Rose were the two guys. Like, if you ask me, who do you think enjoyed playing the game the most? He's at that level. I would say those two guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we were debating, the guys in the back were debating too, like one of the best first basemen of all time, and you get a bunch of different lists. I mean, they were talking about Eddie Murray, Albert Pujols, Jimmy Fox. We'd have to ask my buddy CBW, who's watching the show somewhere. He's probably the only one that saw Lou Gehrig play or Jimmy Fox play, because CBW is one of those guys that's been around a long time. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but he's seen Harmon Killebrew, Willie McCovey. I don't know when you think of first base and you got to put, I don't know, should we do a Mount Rushmore, like your best 4 first basemen of all time? I think I just named them. I think they come out of that group. Pujols.
Did you throw Lou Gehrig in there?
Lou Gehrig? Yeah, Pujols, Lou Gehrig.
I think of more like I don't think of this. Frank Thomas. Yeah. I think you got to figure out, like, Pujols came up as a third baseman. Some of these guys.
What was outfielder? He played some outfield.
Yeah, some outfield too.
I was in Arizona, living in Arizona after my stint in Curacao, and this guy Pujols showed up for the Cardinals. We couldn't say his name right. And we're like, who is this guy? He was playing right field, cool as could be, and he smoked the D-backs that weekend. And I kept telling my now brother-in-law, we were at the games, and I said, this guy's going to be a stud. I took him in the fantasy league. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody got his name right. Man, Albert was a beast. His numbers and stats speak for themselves. Played outfield first, then a lot of times at first base. We remember him at the end being unable to run and his feet being bad and all that stuff. But man, that guy was tremendous.
Not the same when he went to the Angels. You can see the numbers drop off. But you look at some of his all-time numbers. That's why, it always goes back to, what I always say about Mike Trout being overrated. You look at Mike Trout's best years, they pale in comparison to guys like Pujols and some of these other guys that are hitting 340, 35, 40 home runs, 125 RBI. What's his face has never gotten close to that. Trout, not even close to those numbers. So, a couple more overs, by the way. Oh, by the way, by the greatest first baseman of all time, George Scott, of course, of the Red Sox. Great name too.
Yeah, of course.
2 more overs hit. Buffalo, Chicago, 5-2. Cha-ching, cha-ching. And Columbus, Boston, 6-2. So we are now 4 overs. So at worst, we're with the big.
Right.
But at worst, we're going 4-4. The one that's kind of scares me is this dopey Red Wing game. Now we're down to 13.5 minutes.
We need over 6, right? That closed 5.5. I think that closed 5.5. I don't know. Yeah, okay. All right, so we need one more goal. We'll be fine. Relax. It's going to be okay. I'm getting texts from my buddies who are watching us all over the place. My one guy back in Pittsburgh, I call him Palmetto Yinzer. He said I'm playing the totals over. That's it. He said he just sent me a text. Wetzel, you're right. Dave, you're right. I'm playing that over, and I'm playing the Las Vegas Bowl over. There's your parlay for the evening. That game over.
Yeah. Overs in college football. Now, we had a rash of unders to start. That's why it's only 9-9. I got favorites 14-4 straight up, 12-6 against the spread.
Okay.
And then the over-unders are only 9-9. But I got favorites in the over 6 times. So, but the over has had a rash, like 5 of the last 6. We had the early ones had no scoring. But these latest ones, let's keep betting the overs, right? Nothing worse than having an under and seeing 21-21 Syracuse, in Washington State like it is right now. Second quarter, second quarter. Crazy numbers. All right, more coming up. Dan Alexander, newbie, coming up next here in the Grid.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in game live game day here on a fabulous Friday. Scott and Dave checking out the action, keeping an eye on all the hockey stuff, little college football stuff. Syracuse, I did mention, tied up Washington State 21-all, 9.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. You got an over-under of 84.5. I don't know if the scoring stops or not. So with that, let's welcome our next guest, Dan Alexander, newbie to the program as he joins us nearly every Friday. Talk a little NFL with him. What's going on, Dan? How are you tonight?
Excellent. Happy holidays to you guys. Whatever you're celebrating, I hope you had a merry one. Dude, we're like days away from 2025. Where does the time go, Wetzel? It honestly blows my mind that we're already turning the page on another year here, dude. I feel like I'm still in 2020 for some reason. I feel like everything just ended then, and nothing has changed since then. But wild. How you boys been? Good.
It's good. Yeah, it's real good. I can't wait to get the text from Mama Newbie's friend that you're on TV. And you got a nice haircut. Listen, the fans love
1950s Bob. It's in style, good. Man. It's in style. All I need is like an apron, maybe a nice worn but clean gingham gown. I could pull off a good housewife look with the Bob rocking right now.
That's fine. Listen, you look good in the pajamas. The kid, the dog, the fiance, everything was great. We got to look ahead to the weekend. All right, we got Saturday NFL. We got Sunday NFL, and there's a Monday night game, but I don't know if it's even going to matter by the time it gets to that. Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Sunday,
there's
Saturday.
Enough football to pick from. I know you got to come up with something. I don't know. When you look at the games on Saturday, Noobs, it looked like chalk to me. But chalk has been good. What do you see? Anything for a play for Saturday? You got anything?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm tired of this NFL season. Like, I am ready to turn the page. I'm never going to wish away time, but just like for a guy who likes finding plus money dogs and, taking those ugly dogs, this hasn't been the year for it, boys. Let's be real. As Dave said, it has been chalk. Play. Cue your little tiny, violins for the sports books. It's been all favorites. It's been all overs. Wasn't the case last night in last night's game.
No.
As far as this weekend is concerned, actually, one of the games on Saturday is going to tie into the teaser of the week that I like giving you guys here. That's going to come in the Cardinals and Rams game. So that was the one that really stood out to me. The other is, I feel like you can lay the points with the Bengals. I don't know what you guys think. The Broncos, It's a nice story here. You look at that over-under. I feel like that feels a bit high to me. That would figure in that Bo Nix, who you never really know what you're getting in, is going to be Bo Nix to keep up the scoring. Or does Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase just drop 50 by their own? I think laying that 3 out of just a straight play on Saturday was probably the one that stood out the most to me with this Bengals team, who is way better than what their record is, and they certainly are scoring more points and putting up more yardage than what their record says for sure. So that one stood out to me, but the play I really liked was tying it into a teaser with one of these Sunday games in that Rams game.
All right, throw out the teaser then. You build it.
You know it's coming, Wetzel. You're like, all right, we got our usual spot with Newbie. We know we're gonna, BS with him a little
Cardinals
bit. He's gonna have a teaser.
Cardinals and Jacksonville or some Giants throw in there too.
So we're staying away from the Giants. Giants are dead to me. All it took was one time for me to come on here and be like, this team is a live dog. We're done with that. No, we're actually gonna, the people who Dave all worship at the altar of Stanford Wong and the Wong teasers are going to be groaning because we're not going through 7. We are going through 3. I like taking 2 favorites, which I rarely take teams down in teasers, but this has been the year to do it, guys. And the Rams taking on Arizona, taking that 6.5 down to just a half-point spread. We're going to be pairing that with the Dolphins going down from 6.5, taking on the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. So we'll start with the Rams part of this equation. Guys, we think this Rams team's a little bit different than the one that lost 41-10 in week 2 against these Cardinals. We think the season's gone a little bit different for them since everyone was saying, rebuild year. They got something to believe in. And the Cardinals, this is a team that Dave and I have, on cash considerations, have got taken to the woodshed quite a few times with. We keep believing in them. We keep thinking, here's the time, live dog. Well, they just got, speaking of taken to the woodshed, Dave, Chuba Hubbard ran roughshod over this team. Did. What do you think Kyron Williams is going to do this week? This is a Rams team who's just getting hot. at the right time. And I'm sure that you guys have talked about it here on the grid. The rumors, whether they're exaggerated or not, that flu is rolling through Arizona's locker room, pushing this line up even a little bit higher. I honestly don't even care if that rumor is true or not. All it does is give me a little bit more credence to back a Rams team that I think is in an absolute slam spot here. Sure, they have a divisional matchup coming up to end the year and a big one against the Seahawks, but I don't think after last night's game they're going to have to do any extra film study on that football game that was played last evening, guys. So I think plenty of focus here, getting right here and taking down Arizona after what they did to them in week 2. I think you can lay the 6.5 with the Rams, but essentially making a money line parlay with them and the Dolphins, that's the way that I'm going to attack this one.
We'll
Now,
get
the
to
Dolphins-
go ahead. Go ahead.
No. The Dolphin game might be meaningless if it would be if the Chargers and Broncos win. You're not worried about that.
No, see, and I'm not at all. And the simple reason is I thought that exact same thing when I was running down saying, who am I going to go with the teaser for these guys? The part that doesn't matter if it's meaningless or not, they still have to play the game. And that still means that they're going to have to trot out either Dorian Thompson-Robinson on one, a broken leg here as he has a hamstring injury, or we're going to see meaningful snaps in a football game from Bailey Zappi. Just ask the Patriots fans how that one worked up. So
is that where he's at?
While the game itself might not have the gravitas and the playoff implications that it has for the Dolphins, maybe if that hope stays alive for them, there's still a Dolphins team that what are they amazing at doing? Punching down. And that's what they're going to do here against the Cleveland Browns, regardless if it means anything.
All right, Newbie coming up next with segment number 2. More picks from him here on the grid.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
They may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number. Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today. They cover.
So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live game day here on the grid. Just update a couple of scores here before we go back to Dan. Syracuse scored again, 28-21 Syracuse leading. Detroit scored not one but two. Cha-ching, cha-ching. They now trail Toronto 5-2. We are now 5-0 overs in the NHL tonight. Are we geniuses here or what, Dave? Are we just,
Vinny, hit the goal horn. Vinny, hit the goal horn.
Yeah, you hit some kind of horn. Hit my wife.
No, hit the props. Hit the props.
Give us. We gave out all overs in hockey games tonight, Dan. What NFL games do you like, props wise?
It's funny because usually the only horn that we hear from my board over here is that one. And it's when Wetzel looks at me and he says, "You're making me tease up who?" So at least Wetzel isn't wailing. We actually talked about how he even likes that teaser as we were heading on into the break.
Yeah.
I'll be real quick with this, guys, because you're gonna hear talking heads everywhere over the next 2 weeks talking about contract incentive season and why I have a great prop bet for you to make. Guys, if you were looking for these contract incentives, you needed to start betting them last week. If you've never heard of it before, essentially certain clauses in players' contracts say if you get X amount of catches or X amount of touchdowns, whatever, you get a bonus. And some of these bonuses can be, $25,000. Or it can be up to, even $1 million bonuses. So the more hefty bonuses and ones that make sense are the ones that I look to target. You're going to lose value, though, and we'll start looking at the first one I have for you. This price was just too good to pass up. It's anywhere from plus 250 to plus 270. It's Zach Ertz. That's right. I would find a way to work in a former Eagle guy. Zach Ertz to score a touchdown. He needs 5 receptions, 62 yards, and 2 touchdowns over the last 2 weeks to get nearly $1 million in bonuses. Last 3 weeks, Dave, he's seen his target share hop up 16 targets in the last 3 weeks alone. Atlanta's been solid against tight ends, but they let Bo Nix, who I talked about in last segment, score 4 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns to his tight end, Nate Atkins. 3-1 price, too much to pass up there. I like the contract incentive. I like that Ertz has become a staple in this offense. Almost 3-1 on a touchdown score, Dave. That's the way to do it.
Okay. And then the other one you had, we saw that
real quick.
Just throw that fast. This one's, I got one more question for you.
Oh,
so
I know what you want to ask me. So I'll be Mike Evans, Dave, cough it up a little bit because chalk. Minus 120 for him to be a touchdown scorer. Yeah, it's not the price that we love. Heck, maybe this could be if you're on one of those like underdogs or prize picks. This could be a square that you throw on there. The kids love those, Dave. But 13 catches, 192 yards, and a touchdown is what Mike Evans needs to reach all of his incentives. And you say, oh, what does he care about it? Well, he might not care, but Baker Mayfield this week came out saying, quote, "I'm thinking about it more than Mike is," when asked about getting him to 1,000 yards and getting him his contract extension. So minus 120, it's chalky, Dave, but it makes sense to me. Maybe throw them both together, you get almost 4.
Quarterbacks are buying their lineman presence and all this other stuff. We're seeing the videos all week. I like that Baker's thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking about, Noobs. Our Penn State Nittany Lions. We are Penn State. I sent you a text to see if you were going to come out this way. I'll pick you up. We'll go to the game down in Arizona. And you said you were busy because you're going to Disneyland or some other thing, taking a dog for a walk. You got a lot of things going on. But Noobs, Penn State's winning, right? Like this is a shoo-in. It's done. It's over. Just wrap it up.
Well,
right?
Dave, I got the hat here for you. The Homer hat is on here.
Yeah.
Penn State Nittany Lions, right? We're laying double-digit. James Franklin. He's only playing a top-ranked team away from Beaver Stadium. We got to lay 11 with James Franklin, right?
What the hell is going on right now?
Roll the graphic, folks. We're taking the 11 with the Boise State Bucking Broncos.
Opposite picks?
Dave, I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. You see the hat here. I want Penn State to win this game. And sure, they might win this game. But guys, whatever happened to rest versus rust? Like, it used to be at least a conversation, and now we're just saying the teams who are sitting at home, getting healthy and scouting their teams are all going to get rolled. I just think this number underscores across the college football playoffs that you're getting some major recency bias. Give me the 11, Dave. Penn State gets home.
There you go.
Happy New Year.
Coming up next. Thanks, Dad.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Like, they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number. Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today. They cover.
So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Ah, yes. LLs know what time it is. Time to take out those pad and pencils, get set for the fastest, and more importantly, most profitable 5 minutes in television, Opposite Picks. What are Opposite Picks, you newbies ask? Well, we give you 7 games, 7,000 reasons why we like one team, and then we go opposite. Why? Because despite all the stats, trends, hunches, injury reports, weather reports, systems, and everything else, nobody beats the boys in Vegas, proving it again this year. 56 up, only 42 down, 1 push, 14 games over 500 as we head into bowl week number 2. Here we go. First of our 7-pack. Going to start with the game Saturday. North Carolina laying 2.5 against UConn. I mean, game's in Boston, so this is essentially a home game for UConn, right? Wrong. Who's coaching North Carolina next season? Think about it, folks. And where did he coach in the NFL? Ah, yes. Expect a number of fans to be in the stands rooting for the Tar Heels because of the Bill Belichick angle. Why not? Yeah, North Carolina is a mess. I get that. Players going, coaches going. But with Belichick waiting in the wings, I'm sure these kids will be all pumped up and want nothing more to impress Mr. Rockin' the Cradle Belichick, right? Besides, UConn is the worst 8-4 football team in the history of college football. Their wins this season include Merrimack, UMass, Temple, Rice, Buffalo. Need I go on? Hey, the Topeka High could be 8-4 with this record that they have in their schedule that they have. Love North Carolina laying less than a field goal. Give me UConn plus the 2.5. Pick number 2, TCU laying 8.5 against Louisiana. Hard to believe TCU was playing for the national championship just a couple of seasons ago. Now they're playing in the New Mexico Bowl. Yikes. Still, we're going to play them as we'll take a Big 12 team over a Sun Belt team any day of the week. Sun Belt, one of the worst bowl conferences, Dave. You know that. Case in point, Sun Belt title game losers like Louisiana is 0-5 straight up, and more importantly, against the spread in their bowl games. Louisiana 1-6 against the spread their last 7 bowl games. They stink in these games. Their regular quarterback hurt. Their backup quarterback hurt. Who knows who's going to be playing quarterback for them? They thrive with the running game, you say. So exactly me. So what? It's one thing to run a 230-pound defensive lineman in the Sun Belt versus trying to run against Big 12 300-pound defensive linemen. Good luck. Love TCU here, laying even 8.5. Give me Louisiana plus the 8.5. Pick number 3, Iowa State getting 3 versus Miami. If I had any faith, Dave, in Miami head coach Mario Cristobal, I'd be all over the Canes, but I don't. I do have faith, though, in Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell. Both teams lost games down the stretch to blow chances to get into the college football playoffs, so no one has a mental edge over that. Campbell, by the way, a machine as an underdog. 25-15-2 against the spread as a dog at Iowa State. Iowa State lost its last game. So what, you ask? Well, under Matt Campbell, State, after a loss, 28-15-2 against the spread. And we buried the lead in our industry, as we like to say. Miami, 2-12 straight up and against the spread their last 14 bowl games. Everything points to Iowa State here. Give me Miami minus the 3.
Go Canes! Go Canes!
Pick number 4. Colorado State getting 2.5 versus Miami of Ohio. The boys in Vegas' dyslexia is kicking in again. They have it backwards. Wrong team is favorite. It's Colorado State, Dave, that's 8-4. Miami 8-5. Colorado State 7-4-1 against the spread. Miami only 6-7. Colorado State 7-1-1, in fact, against the spread their last 9 games. Miami only 2-3 their last 5. Colorado State's Mountain West Conference ranked 6th overall. Miami O's MAC Conference ranked 8th. Colorado State 7-2 against the spread versus winning teams. Meanwhile, MAC title game losers, Miami of Ohio, 6-14 straight up, 6-13-1 against the spread in their bowl games. Again, everything points to Colorado State. Give me Miami minus
Wetzel,
2.5.
Is this the Snoop Dogg game? Is this where Snoop Dogg's going to be?
That's the Snoopy.
I
think
you may have been a little bit something going on there with Snoop Dogg and down there at the game with that pick. But go ahead, keep going. That's fine. I don't
Number 5, Louisiana Tech plus 14.5 against Army.
What?
I get it. Army, Navy, Air Force, a combined 41-14 against the spread in bowl games, including Navy's win this afternoon against Oklahoma. I get that. But most of those were as underdogs covering, maybe not winning, but covering. Not only isn't Army a dog, they're a whopping 14.5-point favorite. Are you kidding me? Yes, La Tech has no business being here. Marshall was supposed to be here. They bailed out. They asked 18 other schools literally before Louisiana Tech was asked, but that's okay. Then they got you talk about a major no respect chip on their shoulder. It's all on Louisiana Tech. And don't forget, Rutgers won a game like this last year. Same situation in this spot. La Tech 7-2 against the spread. Last 9 bowl games. Not bad. The dog in Army games, last 7 bowl games, 6-1 against the spread. Army played its title game last week, losing to Navy. Nothing's left in the tank. La Tech maybe wins this outright.
Outright.
Give me Army minus 14.5. Pick number 6. Love this play. Washington plus 2.5 against Louisville. Now, Dave, every team has lost some key players, right? I mean, whether it's kids transferring or whatever, right? But perhaps none as big as Louisville, who not only lost their quarterback, but they lost their quarterback who was ranked 15th in the nation in passing the football. Next man up, you say? Yeah, but the next man up for Louisville is a freshman who's thrown 4 passes all year. You talk about a major drop down, and they're a favorite? What in the world is Louisville doing as a favorite? Big Ten teams, Washington, don't forget, 12-2 straight up, 11-3 against the spread against ACC teams. Louisville in bowl games. Oh, love Washington here getting 2.5. Give me Louisville, minus the 2.5.
Hurry up. You only got one more to go. Hurry up.
We'll get it in. Pick number 7, Oregon getting 2.5 against Ohio State. What in the world of line setting is going on around here? We got a rematch in which Oregon won, and now they're an underdog in the rematch?
Yes.
Well, what gives? Perhaps the boys in Vegas are giving us an early or a late Christmas present or an early New Year's present. Either way, I don't care. Forget about State having a chip on its shoulder. How about Dan Lanning in Oregon? We win. We're the best team in the nation, the only undefeated in the nation, and the boys in Vegas are making us an underdog? Oh, I love looking for spots like that. Are you kidding me? And Ohio State played nearly a perfect game last week. No way in the world they could duplicate that this week. I mean, you got to be the biggest bird brain, butthead, meathead, knucklehead, dope, dork, dunce, schmuck, sucker, simpleton, ignoramus, irresponsible, insane jerk, jackass in the world to put American money on Ohio State as a favorite against the team they lost to. Give me Ohio State minus the 2.5. Opposite picks, bowl week number 2. Ohio State, Louisville, Army, Miami, Louisiana, and UConn.
OHIO. I can't believe it.
No way. Back after this.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Like they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number. Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today. They cover.
So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Dave for another 15 minutes or so. Taking over top of the hour, Cam Stewart, Gabe Morency, as they have a whole lot of fun for the next 3 here on the Grid. So with that, let us welcome in Cam, get a little preview of what the guys will be discussing over the next 2. I assume a little college football here. Syracuse, Cam, we'll start there. I suppose the big favorite, leading only by 7 points at Arkansas, Texas Tech, and then we got the A&M and USC kicking off here in about an hour or so. What's on your college football plate tonight? Anything?
Yeah, Scott, I like some of your picks too. Those opposite picks. You don't have to go wow, wow, wow,
Nope.
wow. Don't worry, you're going to do fine. I like some of those loser picks. Don't worry about it. That's why this is what we're here for. Let everybody bet the other side. We'll be fine.
Exactly.
It's been a great day today. Right now, Washington State's getting $1 million. They're hanging with Syracuse. I'll tell you though, I am on the favorite in the night game. I'm taking a shot. Texas A&M. I like them over USC tonight. I think, you know me, Dave. I'm a dog man, but I just think they're a better team. Gabe and I talked about it last night too in the bowl game. Like literally, I think USC is just not in their league. If these guys show up to play, I think they'll beat them down. Like I like Vanderbilt today. Vanderbilt, they won that game outright as a dog. I see a similar type of game tonight with Texas A&M. So I'm going to be an Aggie tonight. So Texas A&M looks good to me. I'm not sure about the total. A lot of these games have been going over. We have the over in the Arkansas game, and that game is flying over. I'd actually take a look at Texas Tech live, guys. I think that game is going to come down to the wire. And I'm telling you this, Gabe and I, we mentioned it on our show. These bowls have been fantastic. This has been the best season of like low-grade bowls that I've ever seen. No blowouts. Every game's awesome. 6 overtimes. Oklahoma Navy. That game went down to the wire. The Vanderbilt Georgia Tech game got close at the end. These have been the problem is the playoff games have sucked, and the bad bowl games have been fantastic. And you know me, Scott, I like to eat everything. Like I can't wait for the Mayo Bowl and all the other stuff. I am ready to rock. So we're gonna have some good time. Hockey tonight. Going to take a small play with the Colorado Avalanche, laying 40 cents tonight in Utah. I know, Dave, it's very odd for me. I'm usually like the dog catcher, but a couple small favorites on the card. But Scott, can I get a wah, 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 wah? SJ Sharkey plus 1.5 sprinkle money line.
Oh, you're taking the Sharks for real?
Damn right I am. They've been so damn good to me. Hear the horn. All this team does now is cover puck lines. All they do is show up. What did Vegas do? Go into the break hot. This is a great spot for SJ Sharkey to beat down their old rival. Vegas feeling good after the holiday season. Sitting there eating their turkey and drinking gravy boats, and these kids are just ready to go. Celebrini in the game. I'm telling you guys, you've watched this Sharks team. They're getting better and better and better. The books have not adjusted to this. They're covering puck lines. They're winning games. They're tough at the Shark Tank. I get it, Scott. Vegas, I'm not going to try to sell you a bill of goods here. I'm not your Tupperware guy knocking on your door at night. By the way, some idiot knocks on my door. Who the hell sells products at 8:30 at night when I'm just trying to get ready for the show watching college football? Yeah, the guy's like, hey, man, you want to buy some? Yeah. There's like sales. I got to get one of those signed. No solicitors. Be one of those guys. Because I don't like when you're knocking on my door on a Friday night and I'm trying to watch football and bet live. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. SJ Sharkey, let's roll.
It might have been my guy, my guy Bonvie. He's up there in Ontario, and he's not out knocking on doors. He's out. No, not Bovey. This guy's name is Bonvie. Not Bonvie. Yeah, he drives a truck. He plows the roads. We're going to have to get him in touch with you. He's a good dude.
Yeah, we will. My buddy used
Saturday,
to be a snow plower. Yeah, he's a snow plower. Yeah. Good guy.
He liked the Broncos on Saturday.
I love the Broncos.
There's 3 NFL games. You love the Broncos?
Damn right I do.
Really?
You're going to guess my picks? Guess them. I do like the Chargers in the first game. I'm going to take the Chargers in the first game, coming back to Broncos because I got the hook at 3.5. And I will tell you this is just my opinion. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals. Everything Rams. Divisional game. You want to give me 6.5, 7 points with the Cardinals? You're damn right I'm going to take in a divisional game, playing with house money. Season's over. Everyone, Rams are going to walk all over them. I'm not so sure about that. These divisional games can be tight. Man, I'll tell you, Dave, that Bears-Seahawks game, took years off my life. What a gong show. By the way, honest to God, stop putting these teams on TV, and I'm a Seahawk fan, and that made me sick. Wetzel, you look great. It's like you had work done. I don't know what it is about those lights on Friday night. I told you, 10 years younger. Dave knows. Dave knows. Canada having problems with Latvia in the World Juniors right now. I'm going to tell you, we're going to have a riot in this country if we don't beat Latvia by a couple more goals. I took Latvia plus 5.5 pucks. Both Canada games going under the total. More defense, not a lot of finishers. Watch out moving forward in the World Juniors. This is not your team like USA to score 10 goals. They're winning games 3-0, 1-0. All defense, not a lot of scoring. There it is. Let's rock, guys.
All right. Got another safety, by the way, in a college football game. We got two safeties in one game. When's the last time we've had two safeties in a football game?
I don't know,
With each
Scott.
team
When was the
getting
last
one?
time Amazon had two football games on and there was no touchdowns scored? Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Bears. Some idiot bet. Remember me and Gabe were laughing. They go, oh, my God. I go, the books must have got crushed. They go, oh, no. There was 3 guys and a total of $11 were bet. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. 125 to 1, $11. Find something. Find some change in the damn lazy boy.
Yeah,
And get out there at least for 20 bucks. Come on, Scott. You got to put
At
20 on it
10.
minimum. Come on.
Gotta ask
I know
you.
we're not rich.
Gotta ask
Yep.
you. You like the Broncos on Saturday?
I do.
What about the other Broncos against Penn State Nittany Lions on Tuesday at the Fiesta Bowl? Boise State plus the points. Newbie came
I know,
on
Dave. I'm
earlier, so he
looking.
likes the dog. You got
I
the
do too.
dog?
Yeah,
do
Dave, I hate to go against you. I wasn't impressed with Penn State, their offense against SMU.
No.
Their defense was fantastic, but SMU killed themselves. That Jennings kid, he's a turnover machine.
awful.
We watched that
Yeah.
game. Oh, Scott, it was hard to watch. Like, me and Renee were on air. It's like, how many points can we get here? Like, that, watching that offense. But Penn State, SMU's defense actually held them in check. If Boise State plays any type of defense in this game is not a cakewalk. I look at that line. Something tells me it's a fish line at 10.5. That's just me. You know me, Dave. I think too much. I worry too much. But I'm looking at the dog long and hard. I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Tease up or get 20.5 or pick them with Penn State.
I still think they'll win the game. I still
think
think they'll win the game, Scott. Like, they're going to win the game, right? I'm not sure if they're going to win by more than 10, though. I think they'll probably win by a touchdown. That's how I feel about that game. I don't think it's going to be that, like, I think it's going to be closer than people expected. Wow. Latvia. They're down to only 1-0 to Canada. I'm telling you, Dave, if this doesn't change, you might not see me. I might be the new prime minister as they fire every single person in the country. Later, fellas. Happy holidays.
Sam and Gay, top of the hour.
As the candles flicker, a new tradition shines. 8 nights of Hanukkah, 8 nights of winning insights.
Like, they may come out slow, so you might be able to get a better number. Wow, they're favored.
With SportsGrid, every night is another chance to win.
No pick sixes today. They cover. So let's crunch it up. Let's make it happen. Let's give you our favorite props.
Let your Hanukkah winnings brighten your celebrations. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
You know, I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave wrapping up shop. Don't forget Cam and Gabe at the top of the hour for the next 3 here on the grid. They'll continue to watch the football games. Got one going on, well, 2 going on actually, and then another one starting here in a couple of moments, about a half hour or so. So our over-unders with the NHL so far 5-0. Just to kind of recap things that we brought up before. We got one game basically just starting, Colorado, Utah. One starting in a little while, Vegas and San Jose. The only one we're in a little trouble, and we're going to need some help, Dallas and Minnesota. It's only 2-0, over under 5.5. So it doesn't look like that one's probably going to hit, but not giving up hope. But otherwise, pretty successful. NBA Celtics came out big. I was talking to Dave with Ranieri about this. The Celtics do a performance like this every once in a while, and you think they're going to beat the snot out of everybody, and then they go back to winning games by like 4 points or even losing games outright. But they won tonight by about 30 or so. At least they were leading by 30 or so over Indiana. 142-105. There's your typical Celtic performance.
37.
Nice job.
That's good. Cavaliers are up 59-53. Second quarter, 6 minutes left. Cavs best story in the NBA so far this season. It's been pretty good. I got to ask you, if you were still alive in the Circa Millions contest and you had Indianapolis available this weekend, would you use them at the Giants? That would be your pick?
Before I say yes, you got to put the pick in at what time? Can I wait till Saturday's games are over?
You can wait until it's midday Saturday, so you'll know the result of the first game, but not the second and the third. Yes.
All right. So that game, point being, for those that don't know, that game could be meaningless for the Colts. If the Chargers and Broncos both win, it's meaningless. So
correct. Yes.
Chances are, I think the Chargers are going to win. I'd be surprised if they lost that one.
There's 34 people left. 32 of them have the Colts available to pick. So I'm guessing that the majority of them, and one of them that is one of our clients from the proxy service. So I'm living and dying every week with this guy, hoping he wins and gets to the end. 34 people left for $14.2 million. It's been an unbelievable ride. He had the Ravens on Christmas Day because they do that two thing. Yeah. Actually, one of the guys that you put us in touch with is in the running for the overall Circa Millions. He's tied. Yeah, he's one game back. Yes. He's one game back of taking down the $1 million first prize in that.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it. So it's been a hell of a ride. I mean, people are exhausted with football. I don't know. I'm good with it. Do we need to extend the regular season? Let's ask you that.
No,
I don't need another NFL game, Scott.
Yeah, I'm ready for the playoffs to begin. By the way, if Flacco starts for the Colts, then I would. Richardson starts, but if Flacco starts for the Colts, like looks like it might be, I think he beats the Giants. Giants are awful. Wow. No, I'm ready for the postseason. You know what it is? You get all these bowl games, and you get the college football playoffs starting early, so now you're thinking playoffs, right? You're not thinking regular season anymore. So it's like, all right, does it really matter if the Colts make it or the Broncos make it or the Falcons make it? I mean, who cares, really? Ultimately, they're not going to play any factor in who's winning the champion. We know the 3 best teams in the AFC and the 3 best in the NFC. It's going to come down to those, right? It's Philadelphia, Detroit, Minnesota. You want to throw maybe Green Bay in there. And then in the AFC, it's Buffalo, Kansas City, and Baltimore. Those are the 3 teams. So
that's the 3 from the AFC. Yep, that's the 3 from the AFC. I think we could debate that NFC one. When we reconvene, who's the Final 4 in the college? Penn State's winning. I'll tell you that right now. I think Georgia wins the game against Notre Dame, and I think Texas beats Arizona State, and I think Ohio State beats Oregon. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Arizona State beats Texas. I think you can only live so long. Yeah. Quinn Ewers has been awful this year. You just can only go so long. It's same thing like Notre Dame. I think you're right about Notre Dame. You can only go so long with a quarterback who can't throw the football. And Notre Dame, God bless him, but he can't throw. He couldn't break winds. So sooner or later you're gonna have to throw the ball down the field, and they can't. So hopefully it's not against Georgia. Hopefully it's the next game. But I agree with you, except for those two. So, but we have plenty of time to talk about it next week. Game and Cam coming up next.